All right, fellas. What's up, y'all? Week one. Week one in the books. We got Dave and Devin.
Week one.
It was a
Cheerio.
Dave with a very cheeky win last night.
very, very weak week of scoring in fantasy football, I will say.
Absolutely. I need a whole new team, so that's where I'm at. So
Top to bottom. Top to bottom. Well, you did sneak one by. Devin, unfortunately, you fell a little bit short, but it's okay. Because we're just gonna jump right into power rankings. And fortunately, I don't have neither of y'all at number 12. So that's
That's
good. That's good.
good.
Okay.
I think we'll be really close to it though.
Yeah. At number 12 this week, first weekend, I have team Mark. I have Mark at the bottom of the league. It's unfortunate. He went in with no Travis Kelce, lost Aaron Rodgers. But I think there's some hope, but it's not looking good right now. What y'all think?
I don't think there's any hope. I think he needs to make some trades. I think he needs to go to the waiver wire. I had him in last place as well. I don't see any progress here. I think his season is in pure shambles.
What you think, Dev?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be tough. He does have Derek Carr, which I mean, he's got a stack now. He's got Carr and Olave. Olave's gonna do him. Jacobs. He needs Kelsey back. I mean,
Yeah,
Kelsey he can win you a week, but after that, you look at his three flexes and they're excuse my French, but they're pretty piss poor,
yeah,
So
I
I
agree.
mean,
I agree.
You know,
So
George Pickens, we thought would do well, and we'll see. I mean, that whole
yeah,
Pittsburgh offense just looked
they struggled.
dreadful. Zay Jones is the guy. It's not Odell Beckham.
So at least
And
for a few weeks, Pickens is going to move up to wide receiver one in that offense, which could be good for Mark.
yeah,
Not
potentially.
not good for Devin, but we'll get to him in a few minutes. Um, the reason why I say hope is because I thought there were a few reaches in the draft by Mark. I
Uh-huh.
thought Aaron Rodgers was a pretty big reach in the fourth round.
yeah.
There's no rushing upside. The defense is too good. They're going to run the ball. Uh, I don't think he would have ever been a quarterback one. Like he doesn't need to. That offense, they don't need him to throw for 400 yards. So for me, the Rodgers car is pretty identical. Like
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think it's just like a direct replacement. So I don't think the Rodgers injury is going to tank him. The Kelsey injury is worrisome, and so is the flex depth. It's just,
And he reached for Jawan Johnson. Like
yeah,
he was what the second or third tight end taken in the draft, and it's just like he's just not that guy.
no, he's
Well,
not that guy, but
I will say, he does have Carr. You can do. I mean, look, Mark, I'm talking directly to you. Don't sleep on streaming your quarterback. Just a new quarterback every week. Play the matchups, but
yeah,
also now you do have the Derek Carr Olave stack. So you get that going. Josh Jacobs gets going. And dude, I'm not worried about Kelsey's injury. I think they held him out for week one.
Yep.
I
yeah,
think they thought it was going to be an easy win. It turned out that they didn't win.
yeah.
And I think back week two for sure. And that's going to be a big help for you. So
All right, all right. Moving on to number 11. I was fortunate to draw him week one. Pretty decent, almost 50-point blowout. I have Eli at number 11.
yeah.
Big fella. Joe put up a stinker. Like a
Yeah,
lot of one quarterbacks. Obviously, preseason I think matters.
yeah,
I love his running back duo, man, was as promised with
yeah.
Algier, Robinson, and Eckler. I tell you what, like it
Hmm.
turned out to really work out in his favor.
Yeah,
But here's the thing: Christian Kirk, who was just so steady last year,
yeah. He got bumped
Calvin,
down. He got bumped down. He's not the guy
yeah,
anymore. Yeah.
Calvin's
No.
the guy, and I tell you what, Mims got outplayed by the other guy that they signed in free agency.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was surprising.
y-
Uh,
y- yeah,
yeah, the
That's that's
Denver was weird. The good thing
that's
though is Eli was without Watson and Judy,
yeah,
so I
absolutely.
think that's going to help out. I don't know if me personally, I would have gone with Dawson Knox. I probably would have gone with the double Atlanta, I probably would have put Algier in. I mean, I know hindsight's 2020, but that's probably what I would have done, even if like he didn't have 24 points. I don't like the double tight end strategy, at least not with these guys. But it still wouldn't have mattered. I'm saying I like his running backs, his receivers. If they get healthy, he can bounce back from this. And Joe's not going to do that again. It's just
No.
it was a fluke.
Yeah.
He's
So
Joe,
the only thing,
Joe can't beat Cleveland though. Like Joe,
definitely not in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's his kryptonite, man. It's kind of like when Tom with the Saints. It's just one of those matchups that's tough.
Yeah, there's another quarterback that has difficulty beating another team, and we'll get to that later. But what I will say about the big fella Ian is that I did hear two of his players. Eckler is dealing with an ankle injury, and Lockett, I believe he ended the game a little banged up. So if he's seeing them or they're limited, Christian Kirk one for 9. It's going to be tough sledding until Watson and Judy get back for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't followed up on the Aaron Jones hamstring, but if he's out, AJ Dillon could see some bump. The Lockett thing is worrisome because their offense looked out of sync, and JSN got a lot of playing time. So I don't know if that's going to hurt Lockett. That's going to bump him down to a flex. But
also, I will say about Seattle, 2 of their better offensive linemen went out in that game, and that's what the difference was between the first and second half. They did well in the first half. Second half, they literally did nothing, and that's after they lost 2 of their linemen. So if they're gonna be out again, dude. Gino's gonna have a tough time, no matter who is his wide receiver. So
it doesn't get any easier. They got to go to Detroit, who just beat the defending Super Bowl champions. So could be looking at an 0-2 start for Seattle, which is kind of surprising. Speaking of surprising, last night was full of surprises. At Team 10 this week, I have Kyle, unfortunately.
Yeah. I had the privilege of beating Kyle this weekend. But to be fair, I won with like 80 points right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if my ranking's coming up here. But, one of the thing with Kyle, Josh Allen, look, one of the things I don't understand, and I think that was my surprise team not to make the playoffs was the Bills. And I'm a Josh Allen fan, just to be clear. But they didn't help them. They didn't get better. They're not a better team than they were last year. With the Gabe Davis experiment is silly. They tried to get Dalton Kincaid. Stephon Diggs is going to tear it up, but they're one injury away from just being a decent team. And it just showed. I mean, you look at all the plays that Josh Allen threw into double coverage. He was looking for Stephon Diggs every single play. And hopefully Josh really turns it around. Kyle had some let me go ahead and pull this up right here. I saw a stat today. The white kid, the Rashad White, is that his name? Rashad White?
Yeah.
Okay. He had the worst performance in like the last 20 years for a running back. For the way he got like 30 yards or whatever, but it was negative 39 yards expected. So, and it was on a podcast today. And I was like, how do you have negative? They expected him to get 39 more yards than what he actually got. So
I think last year they were the worst rushing team in the league, I believe, per carry, I think. But across the board, I mean, a lot of people let Kyle down. Dave, you snuck it out, but just looking at what I'm looking at right now, Kyle should have won this game. Some interesting decisions as far as who he went with. I don't know if I trust Deion Jackson over Samaje Perine. No. And that would have been enough to put him across. I mean, maybe I might have gone. I don't know if I would have started Mooney. I might have started Mooney, but I for sure would have gone Perine over Jackson, and that ended up costing him. No one really went over. No one went over 14 points. You can't win like that.
No.
So what I was preluding to earlier, teams that have the quarterback's number, Josh Allen always has a bad game against the Jets. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
just it's they got his number for whatever reason. You would think that they should have been able to sleepwalk through that last night when Aaron Rodgers went down. But look, the Jets were ready to roll. And big thing, I mean, you know, look at all the top quarterbacks. None of them really did anything in
Yeah.
preseason, man. Dave, you preseason, dude. It looks like preseason matters. You know, I mean, Burrow, you know, Jackson. I mean, all of them, dude. They look rusty, and that's why the bounce back week. I think this week at home against Vegas, I think Josh Allen goes nuclear. I really do.
I did too. But you know what? DJ Moore, like, I know that's his guy, but I mean, Jair Alexander just, I mean, took him out the game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just he is not a factor. And I'm worried about this whole Justin Fields experiment, just a heads up. And I don't want anything with their Chicago offense. I don't want anything to do with it.
I like Fields still. I'm not out on him. I think what's the coach's name? I think what is it? Eberflus?
Yeah.
I think he's on the hot seat. I think he might be the first to go if they start out, 0-4, I think they throw in the towel and start over.
Well, look what they did last year. They started out last year. Now, look, they not as far as a team. I'm talking about strictly Fields as fantasy producer.
Yeah.
They didn't draw up running plays for him. And they went to the drawing board and they said, look, let's do what you're good at. So the first half of the season it was awful, and then they figured out, hey, let's let this dude run. So I think better days are ahead of Fields. Maybe not the Bears, team.
Yeah, but fantasy.
But I think DJ Moore too. They're going to say, hey, why DJ Moore should get 10 targets a game, whether it's behind the lines, whatever. That's your best player. Get him the ball.
Some other things of concern. I mean, Kyle's pretty thin at running back. It looks like Kyron Williams may have solidified himself as at minimum in a committee with Akers. White doesn't look efficient. Dulcich is out for a few weeks. So he's not going to be able to play the Njoku Dulcich matchup game. He's got to roll with Njoku. It would have been nice to get that win, but unfortunately he came up a little bit short. But now entering our top 10, number 9, I have Brian at number 9.
Yeah. So Brian went value with running back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Barkley, it's hard. Barkley has better days ahead of him.
Yeah, terrible conditions at that game.
Yeah, 40-0. It's hard to do that. London, oh my gosh, did he have a catch?
Nope.
No.
He had one target. One target.
Gibbs looks like a star. Zay Flowers looks like a star, right? Pittman had a few good plays, but Tony just shit the bed. Hyatt's a few weeks away from being a real good player.
Yeah,
right? I think week 3, week 4, week 5, he'll really catch on. Jordan Love had a great game. Maybe we'll see what that looks like in the future, but I think Brian has better days ahead of him.
Yeah,
me too. You can't win with double zeros, and the fact that he even got to 96 is pretty impressive, and I think should give Brian some hope moving forward. I just don't know if this thin wide receiver tight end room is going to make him a contender. I think there needs to be a shakeup. The team is unbalanced. I love the running backs, but the Falcons threw the ball 18 times.
Yeah,
which means it's not enough. Like London at that
Ritter,
rate.
What did Ritter even have? Like, didn't he average like 3 yards per throw or something?
I don't know.
crazy?
I think it was 10 for 18, but maybe something like that. But like with that amount of usage, like London at borderline is a flex play. He's definitely not a wide receiver 1. And I mean, the Colts passing attack did look good, but I don't know if I trust Pittman as a wide receiver 1. So I don't know. Better days.
Brian, if you're listening, brother, you got the running backs. I got some receivers. Hit me up, man.
And there it is. Brian's got he's got a lot of ammo to trade with right now. So he's got 4 running backs that could all end up in the top 12. So go ahead and flip that, man. Get you a better receiver.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, number 8. All right, guys. One of y'all, I have it number 8. I gave that edge to the winning team. So at number 8, I have Devin. Devin, I'll let you have the floor out of respect.
Well, I guess I didn't realize how drunk I was at the draft because man, I was looking at that board and I was like, I'm gonna win this league.
I was pretty toasty, man. I was feeling good.
Yeah. I sobered up the next day, probably the next evening, and started looking, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna win. This is not gonna be as easy as I thought to win this league. Now look,
it never is. It never is.
No. But look, we already touched on Fields. I think we see better days. I'm gonna rock with them.
Yeah.
Look, I went into this. I said, I'm off of running backs. I thought I got a steal in Khalil Herbert in the later rounds. We'll see how that goes. The rookie Roschon Johnson looked pretty good.
He did look good.
I have faith in these young guys, Addison, Dotson, the Deontay Johnson, that hurt. But hopefully it's not, too long that I'm without him. But again, I have receivers, so my main concern would be the running back position. Kincaid, he didn't have, in fantasy wise, a great game, but I like how they use him, so I'm confident in that. And we'll see. I think I have some decent players. Worried about Adams in Las Vegas, but Adams in Las Vegas, but it's Adams. I think they'll realize, hey, we need to get him the ball more. And
that was just it was smash mouth. It was a smash mouth game for that game. I think Adams is going to be fine.
Yeah, and look, I will say this. The Jaguars, the team and the fantasy team, the fact that they played the Colts, that hurt. That did not help my case at all. They dismantled the Colts. So I'm not saying that won't happen every week, but I don't think ETN is. We'll see. It might, but I would have rather them.
We'll get to Ross. Just to add to you, you still got to 105. Your team had good usage and targets. No one got in the end zone, and if you get in the end zone, those player point totals go up by almost 10 points minimum. So I think there's hope. I put you at 8. I mean, I think there's room for improvement. You're on the fringe of a playoff contender for sure. But there was no bad decisions. Like, I'm looking at your bench, I wouldn't have started anyone else. The Deontay Johnson injury hurt, obviously, but really, you might have struck some gold with Gainwell. You're looking like he might be the guy. Overall, I like the starting lineup. You just didn't find the end zone. That's it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, moving on to you, Dave. I'll let you have the floor because I have you at 7, which could be a little surprising because you did win, and I still have you outside the top 6. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's simple. For me, Lamar had put up 6 points. He'll have
against Houston. Very surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll have better days. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey is obviously a bona fide star. Dobbins, to be fair, he put up 11 points. That's where I think the ranking comes from. Is I picked a few running backs that, to be fair, I'm all about touches. J.K. Dobbins was going to get a lot of touches. I felt like he would do well, and he's out. We'll see what that happens. Hopkins looks like he can't separate. It was either a really good game from Lattimore, but he's still really good at those 50-50 balls, but he doesn't look like he's separating from the corner as much, getting those yards. Cooper will have better days. I made a big mistake. I started Hill instead of Obviously with Mark Andrews being
Yeah.
out, so hopefully when Mark comes back, it's better.
It's
Swift,
tough though. It's tough. You don't want it's hard to trust rookie tight ends.
sure, but and like I said, Mark Andrews will be back. Here's where I'm at. Right? Is this is why I believe that my ranking is deserving. Because I have as a coach, I've got to fix things, right? Swift is not the guy, obviously. Am I the only one that thought that? Or was that am I the only one? Maybe.
I didn't think he was going to get one carry. I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be running back by committee.
I thought he would get 10 touches a game. I never thought he would be RB1, right? But Rashad Penny's a healthy scratch.
I think it's going to be tough for any of those guys to see more than 10 touches a game, honestly.
Yeah. Next week, I would not be surprised if Boston Scott scores 20 fantasy points.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, and it's hard when it's a 2-back committee and they have a 4 to 5 back committee. It's going to add Jalen Hurts to the mix.
So guys, listen, if you're listening, Christian McCaffrey's up for sale. So Christian's for sale, but I need 2 running backs in return for depth, right? So I need one good player and another number 2. So hit me up, guys, and we'll kind of go from
there. Dave, you have to answer your phone when people text you for a trade, though.
You got to send the explanation point.
Brian, I think he's talking directly to you. I think he's talking directly to you.
Christian McCaffrey would be a great addition. Serge, unfortunately, I don't have the 2 solid running backs, but we do have a wide receiver 1 and running backs to give. So we can talk. But all right, guys, that's the bottom half of the league.
Quick, Dobbins is out, right? He's probably never going to play again, right?
He's out, man. He's out. Yeah.
Him and Rodgers are setting off into the sunset.
Yep. Do rehab together in Puerto Rico. All right.
A lot of drugs.
Top 6, guys. This is our top 6 of the league this week. I put this team ahead of you, Dave, even though they lost. They had, an amazing fantasy performance from a future Hall of Famer. And I have Matt with 44 points from Tyreek Hill at number 6. He did lose, but I liked what I saw. 112 fantasy points, decent. Touching on the Cincinnati thing, T. Higgins, I've been a T. Higgins owner 2 out of the last 3 years. I know what it's like, but when it's good, it's good. And somehow T. Higgins will be a top 20 receiver. He'll put it together. But that
was a fluke.
You deal with this. Sometimes they activate him and they don't put him on the injury and they just don't throw it to him. It's weird. With T. Higgins, it's weird, but that's going to see better days. I loved what I saw out of Brees. Jalen Hurts is gonna ball out some more.
Yeah, Jalen put up 14. This could have easily been a win for Matthew Cullen. So
exactly, and he's got the luxury, man. If he wants, it's gonna be tough. But he's riding with Jalen and Tua right now, man. And he's got Tyreek Hill, bro. If he wants to make that consolidated bet, which Tyreek looks like he's going for 2,000. He's going for it. He's chasing it. So
I had bold predictions. Somebody asked me what's my bold prediction this year. I said that Tyreek and Justin beat it.
Both of them?
I think both of them. That's my bold prediction. I think they both do it this year.
We'll see, man.
My bold prediction is that Matt needs a wide receiver, and I love Justin Hurts. So my bold prediction is that we might make a trade, and I'll get my stack again. And so that's my bold prediction.
Ooh. I see it, man. Matt's gonna have to make the risky decision of trusting Tua's health. But if Tua's healthy, man, he's gonna give you fantasy points. He's done it. It's proven. So that might be something for Matt to look at. He fell a little short against Al, but I have Matt at number 6. Entering our top 5, I have one of our Coach Hamps at number 5. And I have Vincent at number 5. Vincent won his week 1 matchup, but I think he left a lot on the table. 107 points. I am very worried about Vincent's running backs.
Yeah, with Aaron being hurt, obviously he put up 26. McKinnon, obviously Kansas City 2.0. That's not no bueno.
Yeah.
Miller, yeah, I'm Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Wow. That's I did not notice this, but
Well, Jared McKinnon is his running back one if Aaron Jones doesn't go.
Yeah, Vincent, you're in the same boat with me, brother. So
He's in a worse position.
yeah, same.
Vincent, why do you have 2 free agents on your team, dog?
He's betting that that the Ravens were going to pick him up.
Mhm.
And the Ravens aren't. The Ravens are going to go with Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. Like that's just what they're going to do.
I think Vince is lucky that he didn't play 85% of the teams this week, or he probably wouldn't have made it. But hey, good luck, man. You're hey, champ.
He drew the 12th best team week 1. He got his win in. Patrick Mahomes is going to hover around that all season, so that's a safe bet. But this running back room is very thin. His receivers they're ballers. I like Jalen and Debo. TJ Hawkinson should finish top 5. He's got top 5 potential. So
Michael Thomas looks good. Michael Thomas looks good.
Yeah,
but
so I'm a little down on Vincent, but he did win. So I have to keep him around the top 6. But I have him at number 5 this week.
Okay.
At number 4, I have little Matt at number 4.
All right, next.
Little Matt, what's his name? The Diamond Dogs?
I have the Diamond Dogs.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
Yeah, so obviously
he's got a good team though, that little bastard.
Jamar Chase and Amon St. Brown and Devontae Smith and Brandon Ayuk. I'm gonna call it right now. Like that might be the best right there. I mean, those 4, Ayuk, that was my sleeper. I mean, I just
stop saying Ayuk.
What's his name?
Ayuk,
like Street Fighter.
Say it how you want, Dave.
Well, anyway. Devontae Smith's gonna ball out. Street Fighter is gonna ball out. Amon Brown's gonna ball. Matt's gonna probably go to the playoffs.
But we need to dismantle his team ASAP.
He's gonna go to the playoffs, man.
I don't like.
He's gonna go to the playoffs, man. He's got a good spot.
This happen?
And I want to bump it down, man. It's not only starters. Like, look at the depth. He's got Kirk Cousins, which is he's probably what with Goff. I think you got to go with Goff since you got Amon-Ra. But Roshan Ball, he might be the guy. Dobbs is gonna be flex worthy most weeks.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. This is really good. It's pissing me the fuck off right now, dude. I don't want to talk about this at all. Fuck.
I mean, Miles Sanders, they fed him.
Yeah, he's not gonna have a good game this week against us. But Matt put up 123, and Dallas Goedert didn't score. So
Dallas Goedert 0 points. Zero. Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff, little Matt. Just all right, guys. Top 3. Top 3. I have Surge at number 3, guys.
That's debatable, but okay.
Please debate. I need to hear this debate.
I think Montgomery. Well, by the way, I think he deserves to be number 3 right now. Montgomery, I think, will be at some point. I think his production will get a little bit lower. Stephon Diggs, you heard what I said. He's going to be fed all year. There's nobody else to give it. By the way, I went to the playoffs on the whole Diggs Josh Allen connection. So Mike Evans is quarterback proof. That's super cool. Mike Williams almost broke his back again, but hopefully he stays healthy for a little bit.
Yeah, I see a little secret weapon over there too. I see a secret weapon over there too.
Yeah.
Little Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah,
Dave, I'm going to disagree with you on the Montgomery thing. I think that's going to be – I think that's his baseline, and I think he will have weeks that he's going to have – he's going to do a lot better because it's Dan Campbell. He learned from Peyton. It's going to be Ingram and Kamara again. I think they'll both have great seasons. I can see both of them finishing in the top in the top 20 easily, both running backs. So
I'm with you, man. I think he's going to have fantasy appeal throughout the season. Gibbs is going to see some higher weeks, but kind of like with Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. I think Montgomery's one of the safest RB2s in the league. Like as far as those guys are solid wide receiver twos, but I feel the same way about Montgomery.
So if I had one thing now, this is a two-part. If I had one thing to say, I would say Gibson doesn't look like he's it. Look, Gibson just looks like he's just in general just not it. He fumbled again.
I know.
So you have Cup, right?
Yeah.
Secret weapon, right? But other than Cup off your bench, I mean, do you trust Zay Jones to do that every week? And then these other guys just aren't. So here's my thing. If Madison, he had a decent game, if he can't hold up and be a true workhorse running back, that's in my opinion, if I have one negative,
could hold me back.
It's your running back. It's your running back situation.
It's my running back situation.
But again, I'm not big on running backs. I'm not high on running backs.
Yeah.
So, and you'll find another.
I invested highly in wide receiver ones with Cup back. I need to weather the storm. If I can go 2-2 without Cup, I think I'm in a good position.
Yeah. You're in a good position already. You're 1-0. You're 1-0 without Cup. So
I got to figure out this last flex spot. I'm not happy with Gibson or Zay. I don't trust them. Interesting to see KJ Osborne get as much playing time as he did. He outplayed Addison pretty by a lot. Addison got the touchdown, but if Osborne can hover around that, I don't think he's going to get Adam Thielen production, but I don't know.
See, I think he goes back to getting KJ Osborne production, and Addison gets the Thielen production. I do, but we'll see. Maybe not.
We'll see, man. Second highest scoring team. I came up a little bit short. I had a good week 1, but there's some concerns. But I didn't crack the top 2. The top 2 is pretty strong. At number 2, I have the Jaguars, the highest scoring team of the week.
Whew, okay. I agree with that being number 2. It's not going to happen every week, right? But he has a good team. I think Etienne's going to be solid. Javonte, here's my thing about Javonte. He looks healthy.
Mm-hmm. Right?
He looks healthy. I think he has a lot better days to come. I mean, he ran hard, man. I thought he did a great job. I'm worried about Garrett Wilson's production now that your boy's hurt. Ridley's a bona fide star. Terry, I was surprised he played. But
me too. Me too.
So his secret weapon's Alvin, but boy, when Alvin comes back,
it's going to be nasty.
It's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty, man. And this could have been even more, man, because if Terry doesn't play, Ross probably slides in Jacoby, and Jacoby put in a 30-piece. So,
and he was on the field so much.
Yeah, he's got a mild concussion, but other than that, I like what I see out of Ross, man. And Kamara can ball out the way he does. This team is potent, but it's a lot on the Jags, man. And if the Jags put up a stinker, it's almost a guaranteed loss, or at least hard to crack 100 points.
So my thing on that, they're going to have 6 games in division, and their division is awful. So
they're all winnable.
That's you can almost guarantee at least 4 to 5 more wins, just in division.
Yeah, but we say that, and D'Amico had those Texans balling, man. At least defensive, they shut down Lamar's production. I mean, they lost, but I don't know. I
Jags
think
look good, man. They look good.
4 is a huge bet. 3 is pretty consolidated, but to have 4 guys from the same team on your starting lineup, I don't know. I think you're going to pay a price at some point. It's just a matter of how much distance he can create from the field.
Yeah, I mean, Cole Kmet looked okay, so he might, he's got that. So
we'll see. All right. Good. At number 1, I kept him at number 1. It's our co-champ. He's got the best player in fantasy football, Justin Jefferson. Okay performance, not great, but he did enough. And overall, Tony Pollard's a stud. Derrick Henry's going to see better days. Jefferson dropped 24 without even scoring a touchdown. So
I think Sutton's production will go a little bit down. I think Pierce's production is actually going to go up.
Yeah.
Man, James Conner's a pretty solid, just fantasy player, huh? Like
Yeah,
I
he's
just
proved. He's proved.
he's on my like do not draft list, but
Mhm.
he just Al
My-
always takes that best player available, and it works out for him, man. You know?
My thing about Al, and the reason why I argue with him all draft night is because he just doesn't have a lot of depth, right? So if
Nope.
if anything happens, man, to you know
Really, anyone.
anybody, you
Yeah.
know, he's I mean, you're already looking Sky Moore. I'm putting Sky Moore in that Antonio Gibson and that they're just not it, dude. Like
Yeah, he's expendable. It's a dart throw
yeah.
that's you can't really.
Right. So who do you put? Darren Waller, I guess, can slide into that third flex. That's
Yeah.
not a bad option. But other than that,
One lucky stroke for Al right now is that he did draft Gus Edwards, and that looks like it's going to be a 50-50 split with Justice Hill. But I think just straight off the bat, you just slide him into the Sky Moore spot, and at minimum, you're going to get 6 to 8 points, maybe. I don't know. He scores a touchdown, maybe more than that. But his tight ends are pretty solid, Higbee and Waller. Quarterback's a little iffy. I don't know if I trust Bryce if Watson goes down. So, but overall, I just kept Al at number one. It was close though. It's between him and Ross. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's our top 12.
Before we continue, can you edit?
Yeah.
All right. Can we take a little 5-minute?
Yeah. Do your thing.
Gotta pee and just
Yeah. Do your
5.
thing.
Give me 5. Dave, you good?
Yeah, I gotta wake up at like 4:45 tomorrow. So
Yeah, you'll be all right. Just give me 5. You'll be all right.
We'll bump it. Rapid fire. All right, guys. I'm gonna lower this from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, just to speed it up. Let's go. All right, guys. We're gonna move into our next segment. We're gonna do some rapid fire debates real quick. I'll read the question and we'll get started. Let's do it. All right. Dave, what team impressed you the most this week?
Ross. I talked a little bit about this earlier. Not so much the Jag stuff, but man, Alvin, when he comes back, is gonna absolutely rip it up for him. And I got to personally watch the game between Oakland and Denver, and I don't know if this kid Jacoby Myers is gonna get out the game. I think he's gonna play.
Yeah.
And if that happens, where Jacoby and Alvin come back, he's gonna be in good shape.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave?
I mean, that's my pick too. The Jaguars quadruple stack. Seems like at least 3 of the 4 I can see that happening pretty much every week. Garrett Wilson's gonna fall a little bit, but he's still that guy. Williams, he's gonna just, I think, continue to, get better. And then again, like you said, Dave, the Kamara secret weapon is going to just make his team better. McLaren, he'll see better days too. So yeah, I'd have to say Raw, unfortunately.
Yeah, Ross was really impressive. I'm going to go in a different direction. Devin, you're not going to like this one, but I'm going to go with the Diamond Dogs. I'm going to go with little Matt Bartholomew. I'm impressed by his ability to put this team together. I didn't know he had it in him. Dave, you touched on it, man. His receivers are elite. He dropped one.
He has no off season, by the way, Sergio. He wakes up when he would live at my house. I would see fantasy football every month of the year playing at 7:00 in the morning. Yeah. He's prepared for this moment his whole life. He's like Thanos. Like he's been prepping for this, man.
123. That's a decent output. Against I thought on paper, I thought this would be a closer matchup. Brian's running backs didn't show up, but little Matt impressed me this week. Okay. All right. Sorry, Devin. I had to just I had to give some love, man. I have to give some love.
It's deserving. All right, next.
All right, let's move on next. Next, Devin, what player surprised you the most?
So player, I'd have to say, I don't know if I've been paying enough attention to it, or I don't know, but Brandon Ayuk or Iowa Ayuk or whatever Dave said. That because honestly, like I've been hearing all season, like get him, and for some reason I've just like I don't know what it is, but he's just been off my board, man. I thought that it was going to get distributed more to Devo, Kittle. You got McCaffrey.
Yeah.
You know, he looks like a fucking player, man. Like he looks legit, and that I mean, he put up 33 points, and it looked good. So that's who I'd have to say has impressed me the most this week.
Well,
Very
great minds
impressive.
think alike. I had him down too, by the way. That's all I saw on Twitter was that he was their number one guy, that he was the best player in camp, that he was the number one wide receiver, and he was that good. But I'm gonna go a different direction because I did have him written down, but I'm gonna go Algier. And I'll be real. I thought this was the Bijan show, and he went for 1,000 yards last year, and he looked good. He looked like a good football player. And it looked like one of those things where he was going to continue to stay on the field. And I got 1B here, and I'm going to go with Eckler. I want to give Eckler his props. And I know that's not like the surprising pick here.
No,
but in a contract year where like he was disrespected, I didn't know how he was going to really show up. And this guy could be the only player in NFL history to lead the league in touchdowns 3 years in a row. He's a bona fide superstar. He'll never be Hall of Fame. He'll never do any of those things.
I don't know about that. He's climbing up some statistical charts, man. I wouldn't.
An impressive guy.
Yeah. Eckler had an impressive, and what was impressive about him, we know that he's the threat in the passing game, right? He had some good runs.
Yeah.
Like he had like a legit like 55-yarder that like he toted that thing. So Eckler was definitely not surprising, but I was surprised that he did find a lot of success on the ground. I'm going to go negative with this, guys. What surprised me the most was Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was surprised me. I know the Browns have his number, but I was, updating my matchup with Eli, and it never got better. Like I don't know what is going on. I guess it's the preseason thing. I know he was injured, but like
the weather was really bad, and he's got really small hands, so he wasn't able to grip that ball, man.
Yeah, that surprised me a lot, man. I had big expectations for him this year. Vegas had him as the number 2 MVP odds. So I don't know, man. Obviously better days, but that was surprising.
He reminds me of like how it's kind of like how Aaron Rodgers does, by the way. I know we're off time, but Joe Burrow just always has bad week ones, doesn't he? Like last year, he started off 0-2.
Yeah.
And he just finds ways to win, and we'll see what happens. All right.
We'll see. All right, guys. Next one. Dave, what team are you most concerned about?
Mark. It's simple. I'm concerned with Mark. Aaron's gone. I don't know, man. His team doesn't seem like it has brighter days ahead of him. Speaking of which, I play him this week, so I wouldn't be surprised if he beat me. But anyway, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, I do expect a pretty big blowout against the Panthers this week, hopefully. So Derek Carr and Olave connection hits. It could happen, man. It could be a quick bounce back, but definitely concerned for Mark. What about you, Dev?
Yeah, I had Mark written down too, man. I'm sorry. You were up against it when you drafted Rodgers in the 4th round. That was kind of like a what the heck moment. And I want to say he reached on Dalvin too. I will say he looked good. He looked fast out there. He didn't look bad. In the Bills defense, look, there's some head busters, man. So I think he'll have better days, but he might not. Brees might not find. I think Brees is going to be fine just because he's different. But with
Yeah.
Zach behind center, man, it's when Dalvin's behind, in the game, lined up behind Zach, they're going to know what's going to happen, and I think he's going to get stuffed a lot. You got Kelsey coming back, but man, it's your bench, your three flexes. It's going to be tough for you, Mark. So
Yeah.
you don't really have much to trade. You might have to look at trading Kelsey, honestly, and shaking something up, because you're going to have to shake something up, big guy. I'm sorry, but it is.
Yeah.
It is.
It is what it is. Very concerning for Mark. I'm going to go ahead and pick another guy, and I'm going to ring the alarm on this guy. This guy's been extremely successful in our league since joining. I'm talking about the back-to-back champion, Vincent. I am concerned overall. There was going to be some regression at some point, and based on his roster, I don't know if he's going to be able to contend this season as is. The running back room it's not sustainable. And I've owned Aaron Jones, and he's known to go down from time to time. So I guess my one bit of advice is I would be proactive, and I would not wait for that to happen, because it can go downhill pretty quick for Vincent.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Just before the time's up, Mahomes, he'll do Mahomes things. I mean, you went with him number 1 overall, so you better hope that he finishes as that. And man, you just got to stay healthy and pray. Honestly, just pray.
Say a prayer.
Okay.
All right, next up. All right, guys, there was a few players that scored triple zeros. What player that scored triple zeros are y'all most worried about?
Well, that I'm most worried about. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I have a feeling unless y'all want to just switch it up, I feel like we might all, land on the same guy. But my guy is Drake London. I don't think that he's going to end with. He might not finish with triple zeros again, but man, that offense, what they want to do. They want to run the ball. Desmond Ridder is just the I hate that he's an NFL quarterback. It's just ugly. It doesn't make sense. His hair's stupid. And they just want to run the ball, and the times that they do throw it to him, they're not accurate. So, see Kyle Pitts, so that's what I'm going with. Drake London. I'm concerned that, it's going to be a rough season for him.
Yeah, I agree. I am I'm gonna take. I cheated on this one, and I said I just put during Christian Kirk 1.9.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just. He's just not gonna be. I don't know if he's. It sucks because he was such a good player, and he is a good player, but he's just not the guy anymore. He's gonna be the 3rd or 4th option, maybe the 5th option. That's where he's at. And in fantasy, it's all about touches, right?
Yeah.
And
targets and touches. Yep.
About touches. And I don't think he's gonna get them.
Yeah. I'm not gonna repeat what Devin said, but I had Drake London. I just not only the player, but based on Brian's team, what he needs Drake London to produce. That's what's the most concerning for me. If Brian was stacked at receiver and he had Drake as a flex play, I wouldn't be as concerned long term. But based on his roster construction, I think he's the obvious choice as most concerning. I feel good about T. Higgins and Goddard. They'll see better days. But London, I'm concerned with this. And then Cordarrelle Patterson didn't even play. And I mean, he's going to get 5 to 6 touches minimum. So that's even more targets that are not going to go London's way. So it's concerning.
Cordarrelle Patterson, I think he plays for the Bears now.
No.
Oh, he used to.
Yeah, he used to.
But I will say that is very true, like you said, about his roster construction. I mean, that's pretty much his wide receiver 1 is what he's banking on, right? Not great, but there's a 0.0, no pun intended, chance that Brian doesn't make a trade for a top wide receiver. I mean, he has to. He's got 4 running backs that he has to.
Yeah.
All right, answer my text, bro.
Yeah. All right. All right, the next one, guys. Injuries. Injuries were big this week. What injury do you think will have the most impact long term? Devin.
I got to go Rodgers, man. I got to go Rodgers for multiple reasons. One, Garrett Wilson. Two, like I said, the Dalvin Cook thing. I think Brees is still going to do Brees things, but there will be weeks where they're just going to stack the box, man. And he's going to go up against, Rodgers was just going to open this offense up so much for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's going to be tough sled, man. And the other main injuries were running backs, which you can replace running backs. It's just, I think, Rod, that's not just fantasy wise, that's going to derail. I know that they rallied and they will be good on defense, special teams, but for the Jets and for fantasy players on the Jets, man, it's going to be tough sled moving forward. I really think.
Yeah. Dave?
Yeah, the easy one's Rodgers. I mean, Devin, you stole everything here. It's
y'all stop letting me go.
It's one of those things where it's just the ripple effect, right? On every single position that there is about that. So it's just it's a no brainer. It's Rodgers.
Very concerning. Multiple levels. I'm also concerned for the J.K. Dobbins injury, Dave. I love Christian McCaffrey. There are some injury concerns. He's been knocked out for 3 or 4 seasons. He has upside more bigger than anyone, and he could probably, hold it down with a weak RB2. But with him and JK, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to have that tandem season long. And I mean, we touched on it when we talked about your team, but I think some depth is going to go a long way, and maybe some moves.
Absolutely, but my evaluation of Swift was wrong. That's where I messed up, because I thought that Swift would be, and the offensive coordinator came out and saying, "Hey, I got to give him touches," but that's just fan appeal, man. That's kind of like where I'm at. Is where I messed up wasn't Dobbins. Dobbins got hurt. Where I messed up,
he looked great, dude. He had all the touches.
He looked good, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm so concerned. And I think he was going to have a good year for you. I think he was going to be.
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks.
If Swift would step up, then that was because what I did is my thought process behind this was Swift Penny, boy. And I was like, you know what? One of them's going to play.
Yeah.
Like I thought I had the starter and the backup, and then one got 1 touch and one was a healthy scratch. And I failed as a coach. That's where I'm at.
That's okay, man. It's early. We only got 1 weekend. All right, bounce back. Some rough games, quarterbacks especially, some triple zeros here and there. Dave, who do you think, what player will have the biggest bounce back game week 2?
I think it's simple. All the quarterbacks. I think when I thought about this, when you texted me this earlier, I was like, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, right? Like, freaking. I think Pat Mahomes has a great week. Josh Allen. I just think that the quarterbacks have a better week, man. I just, Lamar Jackson's, I think, in my opinion, will have an MVP type of year, and I think that they just all play better. That's kind of where I'm at.
What you, Dev?
I think Derrick Henry does well too.
Yeah, I went with the layup again. Pretty much based off of so what I did, I went through each team and who I thought should have done well, didn't, and I looked at their matchup for next week, and I have written down Jalen and Allen, and I just think after that performance that Allen put out, they're going home, they're playing the Raiders. I think Allen might put up 40 points. I think is next week the highest quarterback.
It is.
Whoever, Kyle, I'm saying this right now. Enjoy that $20 because I think you got it.
It's yours to lose. I agree with y'all. The quarterbacks are going to see better days. Just to give a different opinion, I'm going to go with can't get any worse, right? I'm going to go with the big bounce back game from T. Higgins. Yeah. I think he's going to be on the receiving end of a better Joe Burrow game, which is kind of scary because Tyreek Hill. And if T. Higgins goes off, that's a pretty nice tandem for Matt, which is why I ranked him what I did. but I think T Higgins is gonna have a good game this week. I think they play. Is it the Bears? Who did they play this week?
I think did they not play another in division game?
It's
Did
in
they not
division.
play the Ravens?
Is it the
They play the
Ravens? They play the
They-
Ravens, Cincinnati Ravens.
I think so.
Man, back-to-back division games. That's a tough
Yeah.
schedule right there.
I think so.
It's gonna be a shootout.
Okay. Um,
Just to kind of piggyback on that, it's kind of another cheat, but I think the Bengals in general do, and Jamar Chase, I mean, he went top 5. I'd have probably picked him number 1 overall if I had the first overall pick. He ended up with 9 points, so I'd have to say that Jamar Chase is have a decent week this week. Again, I can't is it the Ravens?
It's the Ravens. It's the Ravens. Yeah.
Ravens. All right, you
So-
touched on this, Devin.
Those offenses have a lot to prove, and if Mark Andrews comes back, I can see it being a shootout. So,
All right, we're gonna go even more rapid fire pace right here to finish this off. Devin gave his answer. Dave, who do you think is going to be the highest scoring quarterback for week 2?
Either probably, I had to guess probably Josh Allen. Honestly,
Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
torn between-
Russell Wilson tore Vegas apart.
Yeah,
I think he started off 17 for 19, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of
they
that.
just didn't find the end zone. But
Yeah.
I could see that happening. I mean, mine was between Allen and Hurts. I think
Yeah.
Hurts can bring it home this week for Matt.
Yeah.
I think Hurts is gonna do well. But all three of them, I mean, whether it's Allen, Hurts, I think it's one of those guys. I mean, if I had to, I don't know, like a dark horse. I don't know. Maybe like you think like Derek Carr can get up there?
I knew you were going to say that. I think Derek has a good week. I think he puts up 25 points. I don't think it's 25 to 30, but I don't think he wins. I don't think he's the. I think he has a real.
He doesn't have the rushing upside that those other guys have. So, I'm going to go with Hurts. All right, guys, really rapid fire. We're going to go off. Just real quick, real NFL. Just have 4 questions that I need some clarification on. Dave, do the Browns win the AFC North?
No.
Devin.
No.
Devin, does Micah Parsons win Defensive Player of the Year?
Yes. Yes.
Dave.
No.
I think he does. I almost put a bet in today that he would.
Dave, who you got? TJ Watt?
Either TJ or Nick. Yeah, I'm gonna go with one of them.
Okay. Devin, does a Miami Dolphin win MVP or Offensive Player of the Year?
I could see Offensive Player of the Year, not MVP.
Dave.
No.
Okay. Dave, who's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Robinson.
Devin.
Zay Flowers.
Ooh. Choice.
They like quarterbacks. Watch out for Anthony Richardson. Okay, week 2 outlook. Dave, what team? This is back to fantasy. What team is most likely to start 2-0?
Jags. He's going against Eli, and the person that's going to go 0-2 is Eli. So it's a double-edged sword here. Eli is most likely to go 0-2, and Ross is more likely to go 2-0.
Rapid fire book that shit. I had the same fucking thing. 2-0 Ross, 0-2 Ian. Sorry. Talk more.
Dave, I'm going to give you some love, man. I think you got the best chance to go 2-0. Got a nice matchup this week. 0-2. I got to go with Mark.
You know what? If I could go 2-0 with like this kind of like struggle that I'm going through right now, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Whatever, Dave, dude.
You know what? Like, I got.
You're gonna be that team. Lowest amount of points again.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm like Deflate Gate, bro.
I think you did that last year. I think you did that last year too.
Hey, I find ways to win. I do it in every league, even the League of Savagery.
I find ways to lose. So hey,
I go to the playoffs every single year. and I'm always kind of
Oh.
trash. But it's,
All right, I thought this was fucking rapid fire. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah. Okay. This isn't a question, just more of a statement, man.
Oh, what
The
do you got?
East Division is very weak compared to the West.
Is that
Yet
our
again.
division, Surge?
Yes.
But flip side.
Dave, the division is very winnable, I must say. And I don't know, man. I'm concerned for the East right now, but I just have to get that off my chest real quick. Let's go into some picks, guys. We got this week's primetime game. We have Surge versus Al, two top 3 teams, 2 teams that made the playoffs last year. It should be a nice showdown. Devin, who do you think pulls it out?
I got our gracious and most handsome coach. I'm sorry, host. Sorry, too many
Coach.
margaritas. Sergio. I'm going down with the ship, dog. Al, your team fucking sucks, bro. All right. I will never cheer for your team, dog, ever. So, but it's really not only that. That was like kind of, it's very even. That was kind of the decisive factor, but I just think matchups and I think Serge, I think you got it. Very, very small margins, but I think you're gonna take it.
Dave, do you agree or disagree?
I'm going Roman Empire. Yeah.
Go Roman Empire?
I am. Absolutely.
Okay. It should be a good one, man. I'm looking forward to it. Dave, do you think you'll be able to take care of business versus Mark?
Yeah, I do. Let's see here. I do think that I'll be fine. I'm thinking that Smith, how do you say his name? Najigba?
Njigba.
Yeah,
Just say
Najiba.
Najigba.
Just say JSN, man.
I think Elijah Moore will have a better day. And man, if Mark Andrews could come back, which it looks like he's projected some points, that'd be great.
That'd be great, man.
I think I'll take care of him.
Does Dave take care of business, Devin?
I will say this: if Mark Andrews doesn't come back, okay,
Let's take this,
dude, Dave. I think Mark's got you, dog. I really do. I really do. Because like Swift, if Dobbins, he's out, obviously. If Andrews is out again, I mean, what are you gonna do?
It says right here Mark's gonna play, so we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going Bodegas. We shit on him enough tonight, so
yeah.
No offense, Dave. I love you, but you're going Bodega.
Yeah. I like that. That's fine.
I'm leaning Dave, but this could be an upset, man. It's not set in stone. But I'm giving Dave the slight edge. There seems to be some bad juju in the air on Mark's side right now, so maybe he can shake that off. Devin, Little Matt versus Kyle. Does Kyle bounce back?
Kyle. I'm not Kyle. That's it. I'm done. Rapid fire, dog. Kyle. I'm done. but Matt's gonna take it.
Think?
Yeah.
Well, if Josh Allen produces the game that we're all predicting he's going to have, Kyle should put up more points, which will give him a shot.
Well, here's if you want me to go in depth, Cam Akers, he ain't it. CeeDee Lamb's going against the Jets. And Godwin, Treylon Burks, I don't know. St. Brown, I think Jamar Chase and the Bengals have a bounce back. I think Goddard, he has a bounce back. Devontae Smith's going to do him. Brandon Ayuk is a fucking dog. And he hasn't even touched his bench yet, where he's got Romeo Dobbs, who looks like the number one over there. The
Lions, they're going to show out, man. First home game. I think Goff and Amon-Ra connect. I'm giving the slight edge to Little Matt, starting 2-0.
One more thing, I will say this. I just noticed Cousins. He's got Cousins in. He might want to switch that because Cousins in prime time, not good.
Yeah, Thursday night games are always risky, especially against the Eagles. Should be a tough one for them.
Yeah.
But I don't think he set his lineup yet. Dave, you think your brother pulls it out?
Yeah, I do.
You do? All right. Dave, what about Vincent and Brian? Does Brian bounce back?
Woo, let's see. This is close on paper, man. This is 49, 51%. Let's see. Prescott, no, Mahomes has the edge. Boom, 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 boom. Uh, I'm actually gonna go with Brian.
Brian.
Yep.
So I have written down Vince, and but I might have to change that. The reason why I went with Vince is because Mahomes, the Chiefs are playing the Jags, and especially if Kelsey's back, I mean, I think that could be just one of those crazy games. And Dak's playing against the Jets again.
Yeah.
I'm just on the Jets right now. Drake London not looking good,
No.
but those four running backs plus Zay Flowers could propel him, and Lionheart's got Aaron Jones, and he's got some question marks. So
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think Brian bounces back this week, knocks off the defending co-champ. 2 double zeros. London and Okonkwo should see slightly better production, but I think the big kicker here is the running backs. I think they bring it home for Brian this week. I'm liking it. Allen struggled against the Jets, so I could see that happening. But it's going to be tough for the Jets going to Dallas after Dallas just mollywopped the Giants 40-0.
But see, that's another thing, is that I can see Dallas just fucking the Jets up so much that Dak doesn't have to do anything
again, which he didn't this week.
Right, and I'm not saying that Dak's going against the Jets is in he's going to throw 5 picks. I think he might throw 5 passes because he's not going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah, that Mahomes Jacksonville game should be competitive. It should be a shootout on paper. So this one's going to be close, man.
It's going to be close.
This one's going to be close. Okay. What we got next? We got Ross versus Eli.
Ross.
I think Ross. I don't think we really need to get into it too much. I think, like I said, Eckler, he's banged up. Locke is banged up. Kirk didn't look like he was anything.
Yeah.
So, and the Jaguars are playing Kansas City, so
at home. So
so hold on to your hats.
Yeah. The Jags are going to be out for some revenge after that playoff game last year. I think the Jags bring it home again for Ross. I don't really know too much about the ankle injury. It's still early in the week, but Eli needs a healthy Eckler to stay alive, especially without a healthy Judy and Watson. So
I think both Ross's Jaguars and the actual Jaguars start the season 2-0, and the Chiefs.
If that happens, the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. I'm just letting you know. Like, if the Chiefs start 0-2, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I said after that loss that they weren't going to lose another game, but they might lose this week. So we'll see.
All right, Dave, does Devin beat Matt this week? Battle of 0-1 teams. Someone's got to win.
Let's see here. All right, 50-50. All right, let's see. Jalen, Justin, Tampa. Tampa won, right? Last week. That's kind of cool.
They did.
I don't like Najee or Joe. Boom. I'm gonna go Matt.
You thinking Jalen has himself a game?
I think Jalen has a great game, and I think Tyreek Hill has a great game. I also think, Bryce Hall is going to be just really involved.
Bryce.
Yeah. And I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I think Jamal is going to be irrelevant.
This is another tough one, man. So the thing about the Hurts thing is there could be some canceling out here just because Devin has AJ and Hurts. I don't know if it's going to come down to that.
Yeah. I think Hill's the X factor, though. I do you think Addison scores another touchdown this week?
Thursday night games are weird, man. I don't know. Slay's a monster, man, and they're playing at home. they look sloppy against the Patriots. I think they cleaned some stuff up. And yeah, like Devin said, Cousins is known to throw a stinker on prime time. I think this is gonna. I think Devin needs a huge game from Fields, and I think he can give it to him. But that Tampa Bay defense is no slouch. They can force some turnovers, you know. So,
Yeah, I got myself going on too, so we don't need to elaborate anymore on that.
all
Although
right, guys.
Nah, no, I don't. Never mind. Just go.
Well, that's all I got, man. That was in-depth week one analysis. I don't know. What do y'all have anything else to add?
I wish you the best with all of your future endeavors. Reach out. Christian McCaffrey is for sale. Well, not for sale. I want some shit, but he's in the market here. And Brian, I'm speaking to you. Sergio, I'm looking at you in the eyes here. We can make something happen. We'll see. Y'all reach out to me, man.
Awesome, guys.
I'm still on that fuck y'all shit. All right. Like I'm even if I start 0-2, I've been in this position before, you know. We'll bounce back. They do have some pretty top heavy teams here. But look, it's week one, weird. I don't think that anybody knows anything about anything until
lots of overreaction. Things change up. What our first thing is tonight, man. Or tomorrow, waiver wire, man. Waiver wires, you know, can make or break it for some teams. So we'll see how that goes down.
I think it's going to be very active.
Yeah, some interesting pieces available. But overall, man, great week one. Let's see what happens, bro.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and shut it down. It's getting late. Dave's got to wake up. I think my kid just woke up. So, all right, y'all.
Been a pleasure, gentlemen. Good luck.
Peace.